Okay, welcome back to another Flashback Tapes episode. This is going to be the first one with Coco's levels, and I did actually find her levels to be a little bit more difficult. I still haven't finished all of her levels, but I'm just going to do them with voiceovers because it's just easier to not have to talk and do these at the same time. Because these involve all, this is like platforming to its core. Like you have to platform or do perfect platforming in these pretty much, because a lot of them are like timed sequences too, so you can't just take your time with them. I know I could have left some of those boxes, TNT would have exploded, but I don't know, it's kind of fun just bouncing on boxes sometimes. This part's a little tricky, you gotta make sure you break those question marks before you hit the exclamation. Otherwise they get locked off. TNT would blow that up, trigger those TNTs, then bounce all these boxes, and then you just do a slide jump to get up there. This level wasn't as hard as some of the others in this episode. I still haven't finished all of her levels yet. I may have said that already, I don't know, I've had to record multiple sections of this different times, so I don't know. So I messed this part up here. I meant to land on that box up there, but you can still get to it. You just have to do a slide jump off of this steel box over here. And then you can get up here and get those 4 boxes. So then again, this is all pretty basic here. Just gotta break these boxes, go down and get the TNTs. And then we're at the checkpoint. And I do think this, I made a cut here because I died a couple times here, maybe. I know I die immediately right here. And I don't think, I mean, you could look at the timer up in the top corner and see if it's way further ahead, I don't know. But I definitely died a couple times here. So, but it's not that this is like super hard, it's just, if you mess up your timings, then you don't make it over the boxes and then you just fall. Or you get smashed. So this one's kind of tricky. This is the only one you really have to jump through. Oh no, you don't have to jump through. I lied. This is the one you have to jump through. So it's kind of tricky, but not too bad. Just make sure you time your jump properly. And then you can get back up on top after that one. So you don't have to worry about jumping through. Don't miss the box down below. And then again, just jump over top. Don't try to jump through unless you want to jump through, but it's unnecessary. And then the last box is right there. So here's the ladies first trophy that I'm kind of upset that I got, because I wanted that to be the final trophy, because it was the final trophy I think for Crash 1 and 2. I don't know if it was for Crash 3, but since I record on the PlayStation, the only way that I can input or splice the trophy, I have to splice the trophies in because it doesn't record them automatically in the main recording. It just records the clip of my trophy, so then I splice it in seamlessly so you don't really notice, but it's going to be whatever the final trophy I get is going to have the same clip as the platinum, so I usually try to make it a trophy that's kind of an easy one to get that I can hold off till the end, and then I'll just place that trophy at like the beginning of the final episode that the platinum is in, and do a separate voiceover explaining that trophy, and then I'll have the platinum clip at the end in the full part of the video when I unlock platinum with a separate voiceover for that. So it'll be the same clip regardless of what trophy it is, but usually I try to pick one that I can control when the platinum pops. So now the last trophy that I'm gonna get is all the platinum relic time trials, so that's when the trophy's gonna pop, so it kind of sucks, but I'm gonna be doing those with like post commentary voiceovers as well, so it's not gonna really affect anything. I'll just place that at the beginning of the final episode, and then I'll have the platinum at the end. So it is what it is, it's just how I have to do it for now. Maybe one day I'll have a PC and I won't have to do that anymore, but as of right now I don't, so that's what we do. So now back to this. This level was actually probably the easiest out of them all. It wasn't very long, and it was just pretty basic. Most of the boxes in these is Nitro. So, I mean, this is probably the trickiest platforming part, but it's not too bad. You just have to don't get smashed and don't hit the Nitro. It's pretty much all there is to it. Now we gotta do some slides here. Don't worry about breaking anything here. Just slide under all 3 of these, or 4 of these. Watch out for the fireboxes, because they'll get you right in the butt. So then you just hit the Nitro to explode all the Nitro, and then you can go back and get everything. This one is the only one you have to slide under anymore. The other ones, you can just jump over top, which I would recommend, because if you get smashed, it really sucks, especially when you are almost finished with it. So there you go, 192 out of 192. Okay, we slide under this final one, and that is the end of this one. N.Genious. These are definitely harder than I thought they were going to be, that's for sure. Now this one, I don't remember if this was the one that gave me a lot of trouble, or if it was the next one. But anyway, this one sucks, because these bounce crates turn into Nitro crates after you bounce them. You can see the arrow has like, the maximum is 3. Some of them only have 2, some of them only have 1. But anyway, you have to turn them into Nitro, or else the Nitro switch trigger won't blow them up. So you have to bounce on every single one of them. So you can't just avoid them. You have to bounce on them and turn them into Nitros. There's a little bit of a tricky section coming up here. It's not too bad. You gotta kind of thread the needle for some of them. Like right there. And then this one, again, you have to thread the needle. Go down. And those are all good. This one you just turn into the Nitro and just keep moving, because you obviously can't break those boxes, but the Nitro explosion will, so. Convert those, bounce, bounce, convert this one. Same thing, Nitro explosion will break those final 2 boxes there. And then we're at the checkpoint. Okay, so I cut out some of my deaths here. I didn't die a whole lot. Well, I think when I originally was trying this, I died a bunch. And then I just decided to restart the level. So I had, you know, had a lot of practice with it at that point. So I cut out a good bit of my deaths here, though. So you see the timer in the top corner jump a bunch of different, a couple minutes. That's why, just because you don't want to see me doing the same thing over and over, and I don't really want to talk about doing the same thing over and over. So anyway, this should be the final attempt right here. So this, you just kind of have to be methodical in how you jump on these. That's usually how I do that, just because it gets the TNT out of the way, so you can turn that into Nitro. And then you're just going to bounce your way down, trigger this TNT. Another one turn into a Nitro. And then this is a tricky part. You have to go underneath for this, and you do have to hit it 3 times. So do like a double bounce, like hit it with your head, then do a double jump, and then hit it again, so you can bounce one more time and hit it. Otherwise, you're not going to have enough time to do it. So you need to at least trigger, those top 2. Turn them into Nitro so the TNT explodes them, so you can get the bottom 2 turned into Nitro. And get those, and then this is probably the hardest part, for sure. I've opted to do the bottom first, just because I almost didn't do it. Like, it was close, but because you can get back to the top ones just from doing a slide jump. And then the Nitro explosions will break all of the boxes inside. And that's 164 out of 164 for the Nitro bounce great death. Now there is another Well, the last two levels have the Nitro bounce crates, but this next one I think is the one that I struggled with the most. Yes, this one. This one took me a long time. You'll see the timer goes up to like 40 minutes by the end of this run. So, I don't really care too often. Now, the trick with that is you have to bounce off that low block and spin after you bounce to break the bounce crate so that you can break the rest of those and get up. But yeah, this level's pretty tricky. There's a lot of bounce blocks and there's a lot of trying to manipulate your way around blocks so that you don't use up all the bounces. Like this right here, I spin when I land on here so I don't bounce, so that I can kind of get rid of some of these. So I don't have to try to do it all in the 3 bounces you have, or 2 bounces I think it is, I don't know. This is a little tricky. You need to bounce and get up on top so you can break this. You could spin it too, but I just found it too easier to get on top of it. And then spin your way through, bounce. This is a tricky part. You need to bounce, and then you have to get around this one to get up on top, and get up on top of the bounce crates again. You can spin them as well, but if you get up on top of them, just take the breather and bounce them. So you're gonna work your way down now. Make sure you jump over here and grab that. It just makes it easier. And then jump back over and continue on down. And then you're gonna have to turn this into Nitro. I would leave it to last just because why not? And then go down, hit the TNT, trigger that, and get up on top. I mean, you could do that a different way, I guess, but it worked out for me, so that's how I did it. Now, this is hard. This is like a gauntlet. But you'll see a timer jumps up to 40 minutes here. So like I had a lot of attempts here, and I finally did it, and I was pretty happy with it. So now again, this just kind of take your time so you can get up here and just bounce these boxes away. That's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be struggling with the amount of times you can bounce on that bounce crate, and it's just, yeah. So I like to go over here and break these 2 boxes first. You can still get up there even if you drop down here, but it's just, I prefer to do it that way. So we're going to bounce our way across, we're going to body slam these, and then this is probably the hardest section of the entire level for sure. This part, you have to jump on the low block, spin, jump on the low block, spin, jump on the low block, and bounce your way up, and then just take a breath. And then make sure you high bounce off these low crates, because you won't get high enough to hit the arrow, the upper ones. Now activate one of those nitros, and then activate the other 2 after you activate the TNT. Do a high jump off the TNT, so that you don't get blown up, and then make your way down. Now body slam these, bounce that into Nitro, activate the TNT, do a double jump off the TNT, so it blows up the Nitro, turn that into Nitro. These are all 1 bounces. You gotta be careful when you bounce on the TNT. You do not want to hit the top one first. Make your way across. Don't worry if you miss any top ones, because the Nitro explosion will blow it up. So there it is. That is N.Genious, whatever, and N.Bouncers. So now the final level of this episode is mammal manipulation, and this one's actually kind of fun. This one isn't really that hard, although I did miss a box the first time I did it, so I had to restart. I'm not sure what box I missed, because I think the explosions will blow up almost all of the boxes during like the parts where you have to go really fast, but I don't know. But this one's all about hitting the exclamation crates and then basically just running and making it to the end. So like the first time I did this, I skipped some of these boxes because I was like, oh, the Nitro explosion will break them. But maybe it didn't, I don't know. There's also a TNT later on here that if you don't trigger, it doesn't get exploded. So maybe that was maybe I just didn't trigger that one. I don't know, but it should have triggered, because pretty much all of these boxes here would explode just by the Nitro and TNT itself. So if you skipped any of those, they should all get blown up. Now this, you just have to be quick. I just hold X here so I get high bounces. You don't want to do that. That was a mistake. So I killed myself. But I just hold X pretty much here, other than there. But once I'm in the air for the TNT, I hold X, so like just high bounce. Get in here, break that quickly, because that trigger activates Nitro. Then we're gonna work our way down. Now that high TNT right there, right above Coco, if you don't trigger that one, it won't get exploded, so make sure you trigger it. That may have been the one I missed. I may have just overlooked it whenever I was doing it. But all of these should get blown up. You have to be quick there. Spin when you're going down so you don't bounce and get hit by the explosion. Hit these last 2 TNTs, and then that is it. And after you hit the trigger, obviously. But that's 210 out of 210. So that is going to be the first episode of Coco's flashback tapes. She will have one more that has the last 5 levels. I'm working on them right now, so I'll catch you in those.